Stampers, and welcome to Laura's Stamp Pad. Today I'm going to show you a fabulous technique called One Sheet Wonder. This uses one sheet of 12 by 12 designer series paper to make 12 or more cards. I made 12 with my set, but as you can see here, there are some pieces that aren't used to make the 12 cards, so you could easily get 14 or possibly even 16 cards out of this one sheet of designer series paper. The piece of paper that I used here is from the Birthday Basics out of the big catalog, which does retire and will no longer be available after June 2nd. So be sure to stock up on this paper. I really love it because I love that it's bright and fun on one side with these candles, and then it's got this like elegant, beautiful flower pattern on the back side. So there's so many possibilities. You can get a wide range of cards out of just one sheet of designer series paper. So I'm going to show you the dimensions that you need. As you see here, the side that is up with the flowers are the pieces that you use for the 12 cards that you make. The extra pieces that you see here that are the candles, those are your little extra pieces that you won't use. You can either toss them like these little bitty ones, or you can always use them for another card. When you start with your 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock, you're first going to make a cut at 5.5, which is right here. As you can see, everything over there is all 5.5 by another dimension. So we have 5.5 by 4.5. I'm sorry, 4.25, 5.5 by 4.25, and then I cut diagonally from corner to corner here to make these two little triangles that you see. The next one is 5.5 by 2.25, 5.5 by 2, 5.5 by 1.75, 5.5 by 1.5, and you'll be left with this little 1/4 inch piece by 5.5, and that you can probably toss to the side if you want, or you can use it for another piece. Then with your leftover piece, which is 6.5 by 12, you're going to cut the following pieces: 4.25 by 1.5, which is this one here. You actually can get two out of that, but one of them I don't use because that would be a 13th card. You could use though, for sure, and get more cards than just the 12. So I have my 4.25 by 1.5, my 4.5 by 3.5, my 2 by 2 square, my 2 by 4, which is this piece here, a 1.5 by 4, which is there, and then a 1.5 by 1.5, and that's these little squares that you see here. So there's 3 little 1.5 squares there that you can line up and match up and use as little puzzle pieces. You could also, I used all 3 of mine for one card. You could also use them for separate cards as well. So when you're all done, you have these 2 pieces that you cut diagonally. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I did these as 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So you're left with these few little pieces here that you could probably toss, but you're also left with these 2 big pieces. So again, you could easily get more than 12 cards out of this set, but I'm showing you the 12 cards, and then you could always do what you wish with your leftover pieces by making either more cards or by tossing aside and using for a different project. So that's all of the dimensions for these pieces. Then all you need to do is pick some solid cardstock. I liked these colors. You can limit it to one color, or you can pick a few different colors. Here I have my Crisp Cantaloupe, Bermuda Bay, Summer Starfruit, and Primrose Petal. Now don't forget that Summer Starfruit and Primrose Petal are the in colors that are also retiring at the end of this catalog, so be sure to get those before they're gone. So these are the 4 colors. As you can see, you know, the colors really go well with the cards here and everything. You can use either side, really. Some of the sides, because this designer series paper has a side that is vertical, then you will need to be careful that you're not using some of them where your candles are sideways and instead using them where the candles are upright or not upside down. So some pieces I can use like that, and other pieces I will use with the other side. And then just use your pieces of paper here. So I used my cardstock, and these are all just an 8.5 by 11 sheet cut in half at 5.5. And then you'll assemble all those with some scraps. You can also assemble them and add in some ribbon and then some greetings. So here I'm going to show you some that I did with the Watercolor Wonder Designer Series paper, which is in the Occasions catalog. As you can see, I used the beautiful flowers with the Island Indigo, Gumball Green, and Smoky Slate. So that's the three colors that I used here. A few of them I did use ribbon. I used some of the satin stitched ribbon there, some of the chevron ribbon on this one. And then I just added a little tag, little flares to the tag there with the little banner strips with some taffeta ribbon. The only card that I did decide to use the other side of, because I super love these flowers, is this one. This one I did use the gray polka dots, which are super cute too, but oh, I just love that flower pattern there, so I couldn't bear to turn it upside down and use the polka dots on too many of my other cards. So this is the only one that I did use the other side. So as you can see, each of these cards uses each of those pieces, and then I just added little extra scraps that I had. So it's a great way to use up all of your scraps too. A little 2x2 square there. So that, and then I added all my greetings. So you can get out your favorite greetings stamp set, or you can use various different stamp sets. I used quite a few different ones. I used my favorite, Bring on the Cake, which of course is retiring as well. So I did use that one for a lot of my birthday greetings. Then of course I used my Lots of Thanks, because you know how I'm going through so many thank you cards sending to all you fabulous customers of mine. And so I used the Lots of Thanks stamp set. And then I used the Label Love stamp set as well. And I love how the Label Love stamp set coordinates so well with the Artisan Label Punch too. So then I get that fabulous layering effect. So you can see I used it for this one. And then also it has a couple other greetings too, like the Mr. and Mrs. and the baby and the My Best Friend. I think it says, to the best friend I've ever had. And this is such a gorgeous card to use for a wedding card, a shower card, or even an engagement card too. So I did a few of those. And then of course it has all of its elegant looks, but also some of its little carefree looks, like the little polka dots too. So perfect for any type of greeting. And here I just whipped up 12 quick cards with this One Sheet Wonder technique, and they all look very similar. So I didn't have to pull out every single color of ink or every single color of designer series paper or pattern paper or cardstock. I was able to just stick to a few colors here and get those fabulous looks. So I hope you enjoyed this technique. Of course, I will have more pictures on my blog of these beautiful cards, as well as cards using the Birthday Basics Designer Series paper that I showed you the cut pieces in the very beginning. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that would just be super fabulous. And if there's anything else that you would like to see me do, leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to work on that project for you. Happy stamping!